Show good. So today, I'm usually asking you what we have going
I
on.
know.
The first guest is a friend of mine, actually, Joe Scorese from Monumental Bank. Joe, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Keith. Good to see you.
First time here in Radio Vision Studios, so I like to get my friends on once in a while.
Why not?
And he's a wealth of knowledge. I mean, Joe knows pretty much everything there is to know about real estate.
Yeah,
That's
real
a
estate.
heavy stone to carry.
I know, man. That's all right. So you
Absolutely.
do a good job with it, though.
Joe also mentioned that he is an area manager and loan officer for
That's
the
right.
bank as well.
Yep.
So
Okay.
Covering PA, New Jersey, Greater Philadelphia market.
great.
Okay. So what's going on in the real estate industry out
It's
there?
starting to heat up. I mean, right before, obviously, we have tax returns are due.
Yes.
April
Right.
15th, so a lot of people are preparing themselves to look and buy that property with that 3.5% down or very low down payment. So a lot of people are getting pre-qualified
That's
right
what it is
now,
now, 3.5% down.
as low as 3% down in certain
You know,
Wow.
that's
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 great.
interesting. You know why? Because I think that everybody kept saying, you know, when we had the low interest rate, you know, do it now because it's never going to be there, and it's really kind of still stayed the same.
It's kind of held its own for the first quarter. They say in the end of the second quarter, we're going to see a little bump on the rate. The Fed's going to push it up.
Right.
But right now, so far, you could still get a loan in the threes.
That's great.
So you're saying for the next couple months, you think it'll be the same?
You'll still be in the 3%, in the mid 3% range, low 4,
Okay.
and people are taking advantage of that.
Anything else going on in the next couple months?
Well, I mean, what's going on in the real estate market? You have a lot of investors that are finishing up renovations. You're going to see a lot of new renovated homes coming up on the market, flipping.
Right.
So you're going to
Right.
see a lot of that coming up in the next month or two. So there's going to be a little more inventory being thrown up on the real estate MLS, whether in the Greater Philadelphia or the Southern New Jersey area. So you're going to see that too as well.
Well, I think we've had such a brutal winter too, and people were hesitant to actually even house hunt in the winter.
Yeah.
Well, the investors were going crazy finding
Right.
properties. It wasn't a homeowner
No.
owner-occupied
Yeah.
market. It was very much an investor market. You were getting multiple offers on different properties that were in need of rehab or in distressed situation or a bank REO.
Right.
You know, I got just a quick question. You said something about flipping. Okay, look, everybody you see all these people flipping houses or these commercials up there. Is flipping truly as easy as it looks? I mean,
Absolutely not.
okay. So I just want, you know what, I think that's, you know, I hate salesy stuff. And, you know, I think that, you know, if it's an opportunity that people should dabble in, that's great. But when you make it so salesy and you make it seem so easy, that's what bothers me, that it almost kind of scammy.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there are a lot of sell-a-thons for workshops such as that, but it
Right.
does open, you know, again, if the client is not spending a lot of money to get that education, then there's a cost value or cost benefit. And, you know, we had invited a couple of Real Estate Investor Association members such as Ron Jablonski.
Yeah.
We are volunteers for a not-for-profit organization which put out education at a very low cost. But I'm an active investor myself. I buy properties to flip, and I can tell you that so many things can happen
Oh, yes.
during the
Absolutely.
process. Bad contractors, bad subcontractors, anything could happen.
Right.
You could find things that you would not have
That were
seen
unrevealed,
until you start
yeah.
digging the place out or gutting it down to the studs.
Right. Okay. So like I said, I hate seeing those commercials in there, and I think people get drawn right into them.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that you can make
You know.
$1 million in 1 year by buying and
Yeah.
rehabbing houses.
I mean, if you have a lucky streak, I mean, it's rolling the dice. But
Yeah.
let's put it there. Let's put it out there. It's like rolling the dice.
Well-
You got to be careful.
well,
There's
you
people that have
also-
spent $100,000 in education and haven't even bought a house yet.
Oh,
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
the scary
So
part.
yeah, so there you go.
They spent
So who's
100,000.
making the money then?
Well, and that's the question. I mean, are these self-proclaimed gurus legitimate? You know, are they actually
Yeah.
transactional, or are they just selling a
The
package?
service.
Right. Exactly.
Again, and that takes some investigation by and due diligence by these people, but they
Sure.
get so hyped up, they don't realize what they're spending by the end of all these workshops they've taken. I
Yeah.
mean, I know people personally that have spent over $100,000.
Wow. So you know, investors are buying residential properties.
Absolutely. They're aggressively right now. There's a lot of people coming off the sidelines that already saw all the mistakes that people made in 2007, 2008. Great credit, reserves. They're smarter. They're more calculated. And they're not going to go crazy in overpaying for some of these properties. The people that are overpaying for the properties to do these flips are the ones that are taking these classes
Right.
or some of
Right.
these workshops. And so, again, they might get caught in a situation where if they're evaluating it the wrong way, they might not make that much money on the back end after carrying the costs.
Okay.
Right.
And I guess my next question is, you said something about, you said it was about as far as, not buying overpriced properties and stuff like that. What is the property values? Are property values starting to creep up with, everything else?
Banks are not giving away properties anymore. I mean, this is not a time where you can, if the bank listing is 50,000, you can pick it up for 30. The bank's going to want their 50,
Right.
and they're going to sit on it till they get that 50.
Really?
It's become extremely tough, especially in South Jersey market.
I was going to ask you, out of
Cherry Hill market.
the three counties here, the three main counties, what's the hottest county right now for real
Well,
estate?
Camden County is very hot because of the convenience back into Philadelphia and travel.
Right.
Then obviously Burlington. I would say Gloucester or Atlantic would be the latter of the
Right.
four, if you're going to take the four into consideration. But Camden, because of the railroad coming back in,
Right.
they're not
Right.
going to. I mean, the prices are just not going to move.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. So as far as then when you're flipping, I go back to flipping because
I know.
I watch some of the shows and
Yeah, me too.
I'm intrigued. So when you're flipping, some of the stuff that you're doing is essential to get your money back. Like, you know what I mean?
The
I think,
financing is the most important
well,
part.
the finance yeah, but the thing to get your money back quicker, I think, is some of the things you do in the homes too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, listen, you don't have to go overboard in certain neighborhoods. I mean, Cherry Hill East, look at the properties that are on the market. People want to live there because of the schools.
Right.
Right.
Okay, so do you have to go overboard, or do you just have to make sure the place is extremely nice and livable and
Yes.
clean? So you have to look at, what you're trying to put together. Philadelphia, there's certain neighborhoods that you don't have to go and
Overinvest,
spend,
yeah.
40% more on wooden floors compared to a
kitchen.
standard or a kitchen. A standard kitchen's about $10,000 to $12,000
Right.
in the Philadelphia market. You don't have to spend 25 to still get that same return. So you have to get educated in understanding rehabbing and financing,
Yes.
because you really, from a financing perspective, you really don't want to be into that property for more than 65 to 70% loan to value based on the completed value
Right.
of that property.
Right.
And what's the acceptable time frame to hold onto that property?
You
I
know,
mean, sure, you would love to buy it and sell it.
You'd
Well,
like to
you
be
have
in and
to
out of the
rehab
property
it.
within
But-
90 to 120 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
But again, the circumstances happen. You retain poor contractors that
Yes.
are scammy.
You find
Uh,
something that you
Some
didn't know
contractors,
was there.
unknown pipes and plumbing issues are usually the biggest issues. Plumbing.
Yeah.
Electrical, once you get it down to the studs,
You
it
can
doesn't really
see it,
matter,
yeah.
because you could take everything out. If there's knob and tube or anything else,
Yes.
you could just replace all the electric. But the financing starts becoming a serious cost once you start getting back to past the 3 to 6 month range. Now, if you're into the loan for 12 months, I mean, it's
You're
expensive.
sitting on it, you're paying taxes on it.
Oh, yeah.
Utilities.
Absolutely. You want to move the property rather quickly.
So what type of properties are these investors looking for, actually?
It really depends on the level of knowledge of the investor. Current client I'm working with bought a property in Cherry Hill East. She's
Right.
buying it for $195,000, putting 35, 40 into it, and putting on it back on the market for $300. Now it's not a grand slam,
Right.
but she's going to make $40,000 or $50,000.
Right, but I guess how do you kind of measure, okay, so I'm an investor, I'm looking for a property. Now, okay, people say, okay, should I go to Cherry Hill and buy because I know I can flip that house, not make as big as margin on it, but I know someone's gonna buy it from the school system? Or should I go to somewhere in Camden County, not in Camden, but on the outskirts of Camden, where the property value is a little bit lower, and do something? Like, how do you weigh that out?
It really depends on who you're trying to attract, what kind of market you're trying, and also what type of reserves you're working with. What is your financial situation to support that transaction, and it also requires a strong realtor that understands the neighborhoods and understands
And
the
the market.
markets and the trends, and understand really current market analyses. Meaning, when they analyze the property based on completed values, are they really the completed values? I mean, any realtor can list a property, and they'll
Right.
list it for whatever you want.
Right.
But is it going to actually retain that
Right,
price?
Right.
absolutely.
So if they're giving you prices at $319 and it really should be listed at $299, you're going to have your property's going to sit there like a white elephant.
I remember back in the early 1980s when flipping was really big and it had just started then, the rule was find the worst house in the best neighborhood, rehab it, and turn it over. And I'm sure it's not like that now, but that's how it was back then.
You know, I would say in New Jersey, 100% correct. You know,
Really?
in that
They always
Yeah.
beat us Jersey guys.
Oh,
up.
boy.
and because I'm from New Jersey, I'm from northern New Jersey, where a
Okay.
lot of flipping, a lot of contracting, really established 3 major small cities, which was
Right.
Jersey City, Elizabeth, and Newark. Here down in the southern New Jersey tip and or Philadelphia, you can go rogue or renaissance into some neighborhoods that are still not there yet. And because there's so many people just trying to get into a property inexpensively, there's some areas in Philadelphia, like in Kensington. Kensington is rebounding.
K&A.
K&A, well, not K&A yet, but I mean in that areas, but
It'll
also,
get there
but
eventually.
also the surrounding areas of University City
Yeah,
are
oh,
starting.
yeah.
Yeah.
Squirrel Park,
Yeah.
Walnut
Right.
Hill, Cedar Park, those areas are starting to rebound.
And years ago, it was a museum area. Art
Now the
museum
Fairmount
area.
section and the Greater Arts Museum area is robust. It's pushing into
Yes.
Brewerytown. They're spending about $80 million in the corridor in Brewerytown.
Right, and Fishtown. has
Fishtown,
totally
that's
come
that's
back.
where my office is, one of my offices, and that area is completely rebounded. We were just with the president of the Fishtown Neighborhood Association last night. He's an attorney. He's very active, and I mean they are so busy with zoning. They have
Wow.
usually 20 to 30 zoning submissions a month.
That's a lot.
For different
Yeah.
That
things.
is a lot.
Wow.
That is a lot.
So there's a lot of activity in areas where people didn't want to live there 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
So, you know what, Joe? We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, I just want to talk about, you know what, when you're out, you know, what do you do to start up when you're going to look for investment property? We'll be right back after.
For independent living for seniors age 62 and over, People Inc. offers safe, maintenance-free apartments across Western New York. The affordable rent is income-based. For more information, call People Inc. Senior Living at 817-9090.
Looking for a cooking oil with a light flavor and reduced absorption so food preserves its natural flavor? One with a high smoke point for stir-frying, sautéing, grilling, and baking? Then choose all-natural Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil, imported from France. Grapes have been a key ingredient of the healthy Mediterranean diet for years. Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is the chef's choice for high-heat cooking, grilling, stir-frying, sautéing, or even deep frying. And Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil is great for baking too, because its delicate taste does not overwhelm the flavor of cakes, cookies, and other favorite recipes. A key traditional ingredient of the Mediterranean, grapeseed oil is a rich source of vitamin E antioxidant and naturally gluten-free. Buy imported Pompeian 100% grapeseed oil today and find great recipes at Pompeian.com.
Wait, don't let this happen to you. At Jan Fence, we're family owned and operated for over 50 years, providing a wide choice of fencing. Why wait online at the big box store? Just call Jan Fence. Ask about our Easy Fence to Go products by Active Yards, the first truly do-it-yourself fence product.
At Jan Fence, we always do what we say. Come see us today.
Step into an extraordinary world that will excite your senses. Experience our delectable Mughlai cuisine and the magic of tandoori savoir-faire. Let our international award-winning team delight you with a taste of heaven. Enjoy our mouth-watering flavors and our unique flair for excellence. Savor the elegance of fine dining and catering. Shazam Restaurant. Indulge your taste buds.
All right, we're back with Morning Coffee. I'm Keith Reynolds, the host. I'm here with Charlene Chamberlain, my co-host, and Joe Scorese from Monumental Bank. So, Joe, you know, right before the break, I kind of put a loaded question out there. When you start to be, you know, you want to become an investor of real estate property, what do you do to start up?
First thing you need to do is sit down with a qualified banker that,
Okay.
that understands, you know, investment financing, and get yourself pre-qualified to understand what you are qualified for. I mean, I want to go flipping luxury homes, $300,000 acquisitions and $100,000 renovations, but you might be only qualified for $150,000 acquisition
Right.
and $50,000 renovation. You need to know that wasting your time, drawing disappointment, reluctance, and not drawing the same reaction by a realtor. A realtor
Right.
is on commission as well. They don't want to feel like they're wasting their time. So if you're there with proof of funds letters and or pre-qualifications letters, the realtor is going to feel more compelled to go out and show you the right properties, or even look internally within their offices
Find them for
and
you.
find maybe a pocket opportunity, a pocket listing, something that's not on the market, something
Right.
off market.
Don't set yourself up for failure.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Due diligence on
Financially,
yourself.
especially financially.
Understand
Yeah.
your own financial resume.
So, real quick, we have a few minutes left, but I wanted to have you have the opportunity to kind of pretty much talk about yourself, your background. How long have you been in real estate?
I've had my real estate licenses since 1987. So it's a couple years ago, right? But
Just
it's getting about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
took the
that's
actual
awesome.
classes with my mom. So we
Oh,
actually took the
wow.
real estate exams with my mom. I'm licensed in New Jersey and PA.
Okay.
I've been a licensed banker for 15 years.
And
but
why did you make the jump? Did you make the jump? Are you still doing real estate as well?
I have an accounting degree and economics degree from Rutgers University in Newark campus, and I'll be honest with you, I really didn't like accounting after a while. But I always did accounting for the real estate industry or
Okay.
banks, so I felt very comfortable
It's a
getting my
natural fit.
banking license. I didn't feel comfortable becoming a real estate agent full time. So banking was very exciting. I learned the processing, the underwriting of a file, and I've been working for banks ever since. And I moved down to Philadelphia 6 years ago.
Okay.
I've been married 4.5 years with my wife, and we live in Philadelphia. We have a presence in New Jersey as well. I own homes in New Jersey, so I'm back and forth, and I
Right.
concentrate my financing business within an hour where I live, because that's really where your strongest presence can be.
Of course.
But you know what, though, and that's great, because I think a lot of people in business kind of, when they're, especially they're out there, they lose sight of their own backyard. So
Yep.
that's good. That's really good.
I get offered to go up to North Jersey where I grew up, but you know what? We're on social media now. We're on Skype. We can do the loan over the
That's right.
phone. It's really not that difficult. I'm
Loan
gonna
over
stay-
the phone. I like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. Stay within an hour
Now
where
if
you're
car
at. There's
dealers
enough
can do that,
business.
you
There's enough business here.
Okay.
Right.
So now I know you're newly with Monumental Bank, right?
Yep, Monument Bank. I've been
Monument,
with since November, and basically the circumstances in the past 5 or 6 years has been the banks I go to build up and get bought. I could have stayed and worked with the previous bank that purchased Third
Right.
Fed, but I had an opportunity to grow out a excellent platform for a community bank that wants to be in South Jersey, wants to be in Philadelphia, and has allowed me to open small offices here in Westmont, section of Westmont area in near Hanfield, and then also in Philadelphia in the Fishtown area.
Nice.
So they're really open to growth. It's a bank that's not hopefully going to be bought for quite a while, so I can grow out my
Stick
business.
Right,
Yeah.
right. You know what? I got one more thing. For someone that's, maybe a college kid, just getting out of college, wants to kind of get into a career in your industry, what's some...
First thing I would tell them, go get their real estate license.
Okay.
Learn some of the lingo. Just learn real estate lingo, and that would be a great start. Just to get a couple licenses, get a license in title insurance, or get your public notary certification. Different things that's going to give you some keywords that you're going to retain. So when you're interviewing with somebody, you have a little more than just a resume and a college degree.
Okay.
That's my opinion. If I could do it all over again, I would have got every license I could have possibly
Right.
found coming out of college. I think that would have made all the difference.
That's great
That's
advice.
good. That is great advice. Joe, give the audience your information,
Sure.
where they can find you.
Joe Scorese, I'm with Monument Bank. My contact number is 215-290-5108. My email is jscorese, SCORESE, @monumentbankpa.com.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much
Thanks, Joe. Thanks for being on the show.
pleasure.
for coming on to the show. We'll be right back after this commercial break.